All right, welcome everyone. This is a post-game press conference for Stephanie White. I'm going to do a quick statement and then answer some questions. Go ahead, Stephanie.
First of all, I'm just really proud of our group. I mean, this is a tough Indiana team that just kept coming at us, and you know, our veteran leadership showed. We're able to get some stops when we needed to, get some scores when we needed to, and battled and answered every run. So I'm really proud of our group for that, for stepping up at crunch time and making plays that needed to be made.
Start with some questions. You can use the raise hand function. Kayla, go ahead. Oh, hold up. Sorry, you're on mute.
There we go. Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. With all the hype kind of coming in surrounding Aaliyah Boston, obviously, you know, we know what she is after watching her in college. What did you see tonight that she kind of was a bit of a handful there late in the fourth? So what do you think kind of was the difference there in the fourth quarter with her?
I think her activity level, you know, she moved a lot more off the ball without the basketball. She got herself some offensive rebound putbacks. You know, her level of physicality is WNBA ready. I mean, she's going up against Brianna Jones, and that's no easy task. And, you know, she certainly did an outstanding job of finding her spots on the floor, of making tough shots, tough contested shots. And she got a little bit loose there in the fourth quarter, was able to get her hands on the ball, get some offensive rebound putbacks. But, you know, Aaliyah Boston is a player who's been a special talent since the time she stepped foot on the floor in college, and she's only going to get better. Her game's going to continue to expand. The thing you can't teach is that competitive spirit, and she certainly has it, and it showed tonight.
Pat, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. In the preseason, you had said you wanted this team to play more open, but keep that defensive intensity that the Sun has been known for. I just wanted to get your thoughts on how they responded to that style tonight and how you thought they implemented it.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't pretty for the most part. I think you can give Indiana some credit for that on the defensive end. They were disruptive. They got into us. You know, it's a work in progress for us, you know, figuring out how to play in space, figuring out how to play off of one another, read one another. It's a work in progress. You know, I think we did a really good job after timeout execution of understanding what we wanted, of getting our looks, of getting open shots. You know, we didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but I felt good about a lot of the shots that we got tonight.
Jacqueline, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Just wondering what you thought of the team's transition offense and then the half-court offense tonight.
You know, I just think that it's going to continue to be a work in progress. When we can get out in transition and stay in the open floor and play with flow, you know, I think we're going to be really tough to defend. You know, Indiana did a good job, particularly in the second half, of keeping us from getting out in transition. I know it's a lot tougher to run off of made buckets or when they're at the free throw line. So, you know, we didn't quite get out as much as we wanted to in the second half. I felt like we also got a little bit stagnant offensively, didn't quite get as much space. Our pace on our cuts weren't as good. It just wasn't as clean. And again, you can give Indiana credit for that, what they did on the defensive end. And for us, it's going to continue to be a process.
And could you talk a little bit about the fourth quarter and then just Alyssa Thomas at the end after Bree Jones getting fouled out and kind of how she was able to take over?
Well, I think most of you have seen Alyssa Thomas do that before. I mean, she's a player who just is such a competitor, and defensively getting stops, getting the rebounds that you need, and making the plays. I like her with the ball in her hands initiating offense. I think she creates a lot of problems, particularly when she's in on-ball screen action. 4 or 5 on-ball screens, continuing to attack the rim. She's so strong, she can get to the paint, but she always makes the right decision. She finds her open teammates. She understands where the double teams are coming from, where the rotations are going to, and she does a really good job of distributing and making the right play.
Sophie, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. I was just wondering what the biggest difference you saw maybe in the first half compared to the second half was, where there was a little bit of a bigger lead in that first half, whereas the Fever brought it back within 3 during the fourth quarter.
Well, I think there's no team in this league that's just going to fold. You know, this is a young, competitive Indiana Fever team, and they got a lot of young players, and all they know is to fight and to claw and to scrap, and they're gritty and they're tough. I thought they made some adjustments and got more aggressive with us defensively. We were hurt by foul trouble, not having Tip Hayes on the floor and getting into a rhythm. Beck Allen off the bench, not able to get in a rhythm. Breezy in foul trouble in the second half as well. So, we have to do a better job defensively of staying disciplined, of executing our schemes so we're not late on coverages. But you got to give credit to Indiana. They're a team that continues to fight. And at the end, in the fourth quarter, our team was able to execute on both ends and pull away with the win.
Any other questions for Steffi? All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So I have Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Bonner for you. Taking questions. Pat, go ahead.
Alyssa, can you talk about what you guys learned about your team tonight in terms of resiliency and what you learned about your new teammates?
We've been battling for weeks in training camp. Hasn't always looked the best, but we knew we have a good group that is going to stick it out no matter what. And these are the kind of games you live for, and I'm just really proud of how we fought today.
And DeWanna, can you talk about the ability to take a punch there?
It's the first game of the season. Their home opener. They're a new fresh team. They got the #1 draft pick, so it's a lot of, excitement when you play a young team like that. I always hate playing a young team on the very first game because they're gonna get after it. So for us to come out and get a win like that, to stay poised, it just shows what kind of veteran leadership we have on this team, because that team is gonna get better. Of course, we're gonna get better, but to get this win was huge.
Mark, go ahead.
Hey, first of all, congrats on the win, guys. DB, question for you. I know you mentioned at Media Day really wanting to come out on fire this season. I was wondering how you felt about your performance tonight and just the way you were able to be aggressive.
That's funny that you asked that, because before you muted that mic, I muted that mic. I just said I shot horrible from the 3.
Yeah.
But it's been a while since I played a game. I haven't played a game in probably like 3 months, honestly. So I'm okay with my performance. I know I could play better, and I will, but not bad for a 35-year-old.
Most definitely. And then AT, question for you. Just with the pace you guys are playing at right now, especially in the first half, how have you felt kind of acclimating to some of the new guards and wings on the roster?
I remember having a lot of fun, especially in the offense that Steph is implementing. It's my kind of game where, you get to play fast, make reads, and just get the defense on their heels. So, so far, I'm enjoying it. But, of course, we got a lot to learn about each other. And as games go on, it's going to get a lot more smoother.
Most definitely. And like when you're going through the early part of the season, especially learning a new system and kind of getting everything down pat, how do you kind of weigh in your head, like, okay, yeah, it's a learning process, but also we want to be tight with this?
Yeah, I mean, we want no let up. We were in the finals last year, and that's still the goal. So we're still coming out playing hard, but we also understand that we're going to mess up at times. There's going to be laws, and we're not going to have the best timing on our plays, but it's all about how you finish and putting people in position to be successful.
Awesome. Thank you.
Tiffany, go ahead.
What did Coach say to you guys during halftime? Like for a message to keep you guys going?
What did she say?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I don't even remember.
She said we did a lot of good things. We were getting what we wanted offensively. Defensively, we had a lot of lapses, letting Kelsey Mitchell get open threes. So we really had to focus on attention to detail. And when we get stops, we're able to get our run and really get whatever we want.
And Jacqueline?
Hey guys, AT, could you talk a little bit about just getting through the fourth quarter slump and then the team, having foul trouble with Breezy, and then just being able to kind of break through at the end and get the win?
Yeah, I mean, we had struggled to put the ball in the basket. Weren't really in our positions or executing plays, crisp. And then, Steph put me in a position to be successful and attack the rim. And we saw it was working, and they kept coming to me. So, my teammates had faith in me, and we kept running it down the stretch. So just a great way to finish the game.
Mark?
Yeah, a couple more for you guys. Obviously, with the new #1 pick coming out in, like, it's always, interesting, seeing how people feel. What were your guys' thoughts getting to play against Aaliyah tonight, and just, what your impression is of her?
For us, I mean, it's, she's got to come against us, regardless, #1 pick or not, you got to play against veteran players. And she had to go against Bree tonight. Unfortunately, Bree had foul trouble, but I mean, for our first game, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Most definitely. Definitely. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Go Sun.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Have a good one.